So if you have a judgment against a person or a debt against a person, maybe some kind of a fraud, how can you get money from third parties to help pay for that fraud? In many cases, a Ponzi scheme or a fraud has multiple players in it. There's a company that took your money, maybe there's an advertising agency or a company that allowed them to post ads on their platform. And in many cases, more money is restitution for victims that comes from third parties. The famous Scott Rothstein case in South Florida was, hundreds of millions of dollars of losses, and the victims got most of their money back, not from the fraudster himself, Scott Rothstein, who ended up going to prison, but from third parties who enabled the fraud. There was even a jeweler who had to give up money that he got from the fraudster. So third parties should not be overlooked as sources of restitution for victims of a fraud, especially when those third parties enabled the fraud, allowed it to go longer. Maybe an attorney filed some false paperwork. Maybe a bank let somebody open an account with not the right documents. An insurance company might have coverage for fraud. Remember that a lot of these honest companies that somehow got caught up into it don't want to be involved with any kind of a fraud case. So in many cases, they're willing to pay money towards a restitution in order to keep them out of any kind of fraud investigation. So look at third-party restitution, identify the parties that helped this fraudster take your money. They may be professional people, attorneys, bookkeepers, accountants, banks, but use that as a legal strategy with your attorney. Get good legal advice to get restitution beyond what might be left over when the fraudster has squandered all of the money.